Self-respect isn't something you're born with. It's something you build. And most people never build it because they keep breaking promises to themselves. They say they'll wake up early, then hit snooze. They say they'll work out, then skip it. They say they'll focus, but get distracted. And every time they do, they don't just lose time, they lose trust. Trust in themselves. And when you stop trusting yourself, you stop growing. Jim Rohn once said, "The greatest form of discipline is self-respect." Because discipline isn't punishment, it's proof. Proof to yourself that you can do what you said you would do. Proof that your words mean something. That you are someone worth listening to, even when no one else is around. Success doesn't require applause, it requires alignment. Between what you say and what you do. Between your values and your behavior. Between your future and your present. That's why most people struggle. Not because they're lazy, but because they've broken their own word too many times. They've built a relationship with themselves that's full of doubt, full of hesitation, full of backpedaling and excuses. And now, even when they try, they don't believe themselves anymore. And if you can't believe you, who will? You can't lead others if you can't lead yourself. You can't earn respect if you keep disrespecting your own standards. That's why discipline matters. Not for control, not for perfection, but for power. The power to say something and mean it, to set a goal and honor it, to decide and follow through. Self-discipline is how self-respect is born. Every small act of discipline is a brick in your inner foundation. Every time you say no to comfort, you say yes to your future. Jim Rohn didn't teach empty hype. He taught responsibility, he taught ownership, and he taught that the only person you ever truly lead is yourself. That's where everything else begins. So what does that look like? It looks like waking up when you said you would, not because you feel like it, but because you said you would. It looks like finishing the work, not because it's exciting, but because you promised yourself you would. It looks like walking away from things that insult your potential, not because it's easy, but because it's right. Self-respect isn't loud. It doesn't need to be. It's not about proving anything. It's about knowing, deep down, that your actions match your words, that you are reliable, that you can count on you. That's the most powerful belief you can have. Because when you believe yourself, the world starts to believe you too. But it starts small. It starts with not skipping the workout, not ignoring your budget, not justifying the cheat day, not breaking your own momentum. It starts with recognizing that every time you say, just this once, you are trading long-term pride for short-term relief. And that trade is always too expensive. Discipline doesn't restrict you. It frees you from the guilt of inconsistency, from the weight of regret, from the anxiety of always falling short. It gives you clarity, strength, inner peace. Because when you keep your promises, your mind stops doubting, your heart stops resisting, your life starts moving. Jim Rohn knew this. That's why he called discipline the bridge between goals and accomplishment. Because without it, all you have is potential. And potential never paid the bills. Respect yourself enough to follow through. Love yourself enough to raise your standards. Trust yourself enough to try again, even after you failed. This isn't about never falling. It's about refusing to live on the ground. It's about standing up every time with more resolve, more integrity, more faith in your ability to change. You want to feel confident? Then stop looking in the mirror and start looking at your behavior. That's where real confidence grows. In the quiet places, the daily decisions, the invisible victories. When you do what you say, again and again, confidence becomes who you are. Respect becomes your default. and your life changes. Not because someone saved you, but because you finally showed up for you. And here's the deeper truth. Self-respect is the foundation for every other kind of success. It shapes how you speak to others, how you pursue your goals, how you recover from setbacks. It's not about pride. It's about knowing you've earned your own trust. That's the kind of inner peace no one can give you, and no one can take away. So the next time you're tempted to quit, ask yourself, what would someone who respects themselves do? Then do that, again and again, until it becomes who you are.